Hello, my name is Nathan Glendenning, and this is my argument essay about robotic umpires in Major League Baseball, so I'm going to read it to you. One of the biggest debates in Major League Baseball over the past couple of years has been the question, should Major League Baseball replace live umpires with robotic umpires to call balls and strikes? This doesn't mean that there won't be umpires on the field, but instead the umpire will wear an earpiece that in real time tells him to call the pitch a ball or a strike. I believe this would be a mistake by Major League Baseball, but many think it would be better for the game. On the other hand, many say that the game of baseball will only get better by using robotic umpires behind the plate. The most controversial calls in a baseball game come from the home plate umpire. Hitting while ahead in the count is a lot easier, and pitching ahead in the count is as well. The home plate umpire is the only umpire on the field that plays a role in every single pitch in a Major League Baseball game. Since this position plays such a big role throughout the entire game, people want the automatic strike zone. The argument is that it will even the playing field more because no team will get better calls over the other team. Also, hitters and pitchers will know what the established strike zone is rather than having an inconsistent one with a normal umpire, because umpires are human and cannot be perfect with every call they make. These are great points that have been made for the argument of robotic umpires, but it takes so much away from the game. First, the human side of umpires is what makes the game of baseball so special. This is because catchers actually have to work on catching and framing pitches so they can get the calls on the corners of the strike zone. If there is an automatic strike zone, catchers won't have to frame pitches and they won't have to establish the relationship with the umpire to get those calls. Another thing is pitchers won't have to hit their spots to get a strike. For example, if the catcher is set up on the outside of the plate for a fastball, and the pitcher misses inside causing the catcher to reach all the way across to catch the ball, it will be called a strike if it barely nicks the zone. To the fans, the coaches, and most importantly the hitter, it will appear as a ball, but since it barely touched the strike zone, the computer will tell the umpire to call it a strike. Since a strike is meant to be called when it crosses the plate, that means a curveball can cross at the very bottom of the zone, drop down and hit the dirt, and be called a strike. In my opinion, that is not baseball, and it is not a strike. It will also be a crazy adjustment for everyone playing the game, and that they already know and have played for so long. Also, you can ask the question, what happens when the technology fails or isn't working? Do you just go back to the umpire calling and confuse all the athletes playing the game? Lots of questions about this new system they plan to put in place down the road. Some take the stance that change is good for the game, while others, like me, don't want to change the game that we learned to love over the years. The main idea for the change is that umpires won't play as big as a role and be able to completely change the outcome of the game. I think at the end of the day, that one call cannot change the outcome of the game, and it would be a big mistake if MLB decides to implement robotic umpires for calling balls and strikes.